Mr. Boo.
Hey everybody, it is I, Mr. Boo, the entertainment guru, your Mr. Boo entertainment guru, right here on YouTube. And the entertainment for today, as you see the map loading in, and as you saw the thumbnail, and you saw the description, or the title of this video, it is right, we are talking XDEFIANT. It has been a week since the game's launch. I have played pretty much every single day. I have streamed over on Twitch. Link to my Twitch in the description down below. I am going live today sometime, May 30th, today, Thursday, May 30th, going live. Also, like I said, hit the link in the description down below. I do a simulation Saturday. We're on Hotel Renovator and XDEFIANT. I have 5 more weeks of drops to give you on XDEFIANT, so hit that link down below. Check my schedule. It's not the steadiest or the sturdiest because I work and I got to revolve around the work. But hey, I got 11 followers, so come on and be the 12th, 13th, 14th, and beyond. But now, enough of the plugging, enough of me talking about my Twitch stream. The link is in the description down below. Let's also throw up the old YouTube thing, and let's get into XDEFIANT, Ubisoft 6v6 arena shooter, free-to-play arena shooter that dropped last week. I am going to go down a laundry list of things that I want to talk about this game and give it kind of a rating. And then I've got some news for you and a link again in the description down below to another YouTuber that has some leaks, has some unofficial leaks, some drops, pulled data mined from the game from a person over on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it anymore. And I will have that in the link in the description down below. So go on over there, show him some love, give him a view, give him a like, give him a subscribe. And he's got the link in his description for the X-Twitter, whatchamacallit, leaker guy. The guy who data mines and lets us know what Season 1 is going to be all about. And let me tell you, I'm excited because, as I've said before, I love my Assassin's Creed, and it looks like we are going to get Assassin's Creed. That's a little sneak peek. Go on over, watch his video, show him some love. Link in the description down below. Let's get into the first thing on my list today, which is graphics. Graphically speaking, this game is beautiful. This game is vibrant. This game is bright. This game holds up well on the Xbox X, S, PS5, and PC. It looks fantastic. It runs fantastic. The sound is very good. Everything is very bright, vibrant, and has its own art style to it. And it hits that nail on the head. That's right. It just drives home its art style so perfectly, so flawlessly in every way, shape, and form available. And what goes with graphics? We're going to do gameplay, because GG, good game. Graphics and gameplay, right? The gameplay of XDEFIANT is smooth. It is typical of a lot of first-person shooters, a lot of FPSs. You got the left trigger to zoom and aim. You got the right trigger to shoot. You walk with one stick. You look around with the other stick. And you've got your like your jump, which I will get into jumping. Oh my God. And your duck button. You also have, in this one, a little bit of Overwatch vibes going on. So it's like Call of Duty and Overwatch, again, got together and had a baby. And XDEFIANT is that great, grand, beautiful baby that everyone wants to go see. Everyone wants to take pictures with. The gameplay is wonderful. It is very fluid. It feels great. There are times when it has some trouble, but what game doesn't have any trouble? You got your left bumper for one ability, your right bumper to throw your grenades, and you got where you hit both bumpers to use your, what do you call it, your ultimate. Your ultimate that is supposed to be said to change the pace of the game, to maybe flop it around to where you're losing and then you're winning. And you are seeing my gameplay footage here, so you're going to see me use some different stuff. You got your Y to switch to your sidearm. Basically, the gameplay is very smooth. The graphics are great. It controls well. Everything with graphics and gameplay, in my book, are all top notch. Which brings me to, what are you doing in the gameplay? Well, you are playing with weapons, my friends. And those weapons, well, let me go down a little bit on these weapons. That sounded wrong. That came out wrong for all you people living in the gutter. Get your mind out of the gutter. I am not that way with weapons. Okay, anyway, let me go down the list of things that I like and dislike of the weapons. You got your typical weapon selection. You've got 24 weapons, 40 attachments across the weapons. There's skins coming out now. There's all kinds of stuff coming out now, which we'll get to when we talk to the store and the season pass right before the final thoughts. But right now, weapons. So let me get into the assault class weapons. They feel really good. They are really good, like your M4, your AK-47, your M16, which is my favorite assault rifle. The new one that came out in the season pass that came with the game, I think it's season 0 or pre-season, whatever you want to call it. It is the season pass going down right now. The ACR, I think, is in there. I'm not really fond of the one that came with the season pass. I need to level it up and get some attachments and see how I feel about it. But for the most part, the assault rifles work like they should most of the time, feel like they should. It's all about where you're aiming, and you're going to want to aim for center mass, like chest and head. Anything starting from like the stomach down is going to be a slower time to kill than like the chest and the head. I don't understand why it's chest and head. It should be stomach and chest and head. As most people say, aim for center mass. And when Mark Rubin from the XDEFIANT team said aim for the head, they don't teach you that in military or police academy. So, okay, Mark. Okay, I see you. I see where you're at. You're going more for the arcade shooter, which this is, and it's fun. And the assault rifles are fun in this arcade shooter. We also have our little SMGs. Now, the SMGs are wonderful. I'm an SMG guy. I love SMGs. I am leveling up, I believe, the MP7 and the P90. And they are really fun to play with. They are on target. They are fast. They are effective. But unlike other games, they are a lot harder to get that TTK, that time to kill. They are pea shooters. They are fast, pistol grade caliber. They're not an assault rifle. They're not a shotty. They are not a DMR. They are a personal defense weapon, basically a submachine gun. They are a SMG, and that's what they are. And they feel like that, and that's awesome. I love that across the board. Also, they are easy to control, so you can actually go for the upper mass head area. And most times, if you're lucky and you're fast enough, and that thing is doing what it does, which is pew 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 pew, you are gonna get a good KD on that match for the most part. And I did mention shotties, so let's go shotties next. Shotties are the same way. In most games, they are overpowered, they are overbearing, and they are something people just don't want. XDefiant nailed both SMGs and shotties. And let me tell you, I am leveling up the double barrel and then like the other automatic. I'm not leveling up like the last one that unlocks. But the two that I'm playing with right now are very nice. I actually like the double barrel better. I don't know why. Maybe because it's just an old school, like, boom, bang, you're down kind of weapon. I don't know if it just has that spread for being a long barrel, double barrel shotgun. But with that in mind, you do have to be on target. One shot takedowns do happen, but not very often. Again, center mass, face, head, region. The DMRs are another one of my favorites. The DMRs are, I'm using one right now. Only one I've used is the one that you start the game with, but they are on target. They have good recoil feel, and they take 2-shot TTK or 1 to the dome. Very, very good. Very, very solid DMR gameplay there. Very, very nice. The LMGs are one area where I have a complaint. The LMGs can cancel out like walls and stuff like that and hurt people's domes when they're on like their ultimates. But it doesn't seem to have a fast TTK. And everything else about it is really good, like the recoil and everything. And I'm thinking maybe the recoil, maybe you're missing more than you think you are. Because they are all over the place. They are a light machine gun. And I said goon. as I know I've dropped the GUN word plenty in here, but hey, I'm not monetized, so right back at you. But yeah, the LMGs are one that I have a complaint with and I don't use very much. They definitely have some sort of learning curve to them that I'm not learning. I'm curving the other way. And that leaves us with just, I believe, sniper rifles. They're okay. For the most part, I use them during escort or zone control. On those linear maps where like you can get a chance to defend things and take up a post. I have only used the old school one in it, not the TAC 50. I've had problems in game, and I will get to that when we talk a little bit more about the player base with people using that TAC 50 in stupid, ridiculous ways. Basically bringing Call of Duty into XDefiant, and again, I will get to that in player base. Right now, let's talk sniper rifles. How do they feel? I think they do their job, but I don't think they feel like they do in most games, even when holding your breath. There seems to be a lot more recoil felt on my end than in most FPSs. Also, it's like they don't hold the gun as steady as they should. There might need to be, and I dropped the G word again. Oh boy. Never gonna get paid. Okay, but yeah, they feel a little wobbly. They feel a little all over the place, and the recoil feels like it's really felt more than I think it should be. And with the maps being how they are, and I'll get into that, that is actually the next subject. That would be a good segue. With the maps being how they are, as you can see in the footage here of me playing on one of my streams, you don't have a lot of room, and that's probably why people play the way they do, and I'll get into that. But yes, maps. The way the maps are, they're very, very small for the most part. That's why I only snipe in the linear modes, because they're a lot, it's a longer map that you get from one section to another section to another. The arena 6v6 FPS experience on these maps, I don't know how or why, but people can actually snipe on those. I cannot. But for the most part, the maps, there's only 2 of them I don't like, and I can't remember their names right now. But out of the 14 maps, the 3 that are linear and then the ones that are 6v6 arena, for the most part, they're good. There's 2 that I just don't like. I just dislike their setup, and I don't know if that's maybe because the gameplay, the player base, or whatever it is, gets to run in how they run on those maps, and I just get lost. I don't know. Or if it is bad map design on some of the game modes, I couldn't tell you. But for the most part, the maps are basically, some are, up and down, and of course, they're like 3-lane, sometimes 4-lane, back and forth maps from one side to the other. And then some, like I said, have higher levels and lower levels. They're well done. They remind me a lot of old school, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, and even some of Modern Warfare 3. And I'm talking like Xbox 360, those ones, the OG ones. That's what the maps feel like. And that's actually really welcoming. And the linear maps have so much to offer with up, down, side to side, alleyways, pathways, hidden ways, ladders, everything you can think of to get to that point, to get your team to the objective, or to stop said team from getting to their objective. So yes, maps are pretty good. And that brings me to, well, what do you do on maps? You play the game modes. And for the most part, the game modes are pretty fun. I'm having a lot of fun with your typical domination, which is, capture flag A, B, and C, keep it from the team, earn your points, win the game. And Hotshot, which is basically kill confirmed and cranked from Call of Duty, adopting a son or creating a child of their own, because you pick up these bounties, or dog tags, as I like to say, because I do play COD. And when you get a certain amount, or you take out their hotshot, because once you get a certain amount, you become the hotshot. And if you take a hotshot out, you get his too. And while you're the hotshot, you're faster, you're cranked up, you're energetic, and you're getting double points for your team. The team with the most points at the end from picking up the bounties is the winner. That is a really good game mode. Occupy is kind of like Hardpoint. I'm not the biggest fan of Occupy. I do like it, and the specials and the alts and everything make it very, very interesting in the way that you actually can play and capture those zones and keep those zones. And I do like how it's basically an objective based, everything's objective based, everything's play the game, play the objective, PTO, PTFO for some of you, and I will get into that in the player base. I have complaints about you people. Escort is basically, if you've played or seen Overwatch, you are escorting a package, a robot, with a payload from point A to point B, and they're trying to stop you. And the team that gets farther than the other one, or let's say the first team wins and then you win, you take the victory because you got the same as them. So it's like the tie goes to the winner. But yeah, there's that. And then there's zone control, which is basically Rush from Battlefield or whatever game mode it is in Call of Duty, where you take a point or two and then one or two more open, you take those points. And once you control all the points, you win that round, and then the other team has to try. Or said person who gets, said team that gets farther than the other team wins. The game modes in this are really good. There's no team deathmatch. Everything has an objective, and I like that. So if you are playing, play the flipping objective. Play the objective. It's fun. It's how you level everything up. Your weapons will get more experience. Your battle pass will go quicker. Play the objective. I cannot push that enough. Push those objectives. Be a team player. Stop worrying about your KDR and have some fun. And like I said, I'll get into that here in a little bit, but we're going to move on to the factions, because the factions play a big part in this. You've got the factions from Watch Dogs. You got the faction from The Division, a faction from Far Cry. These factions, they all play. You've got Splinter Cell, which the Splinter Cell one I'm going to get to last, because, and I'm not going to like go faction by faction here. I'm just going to, I have some complaints, and hopefully I can just get it off my chest with you and get it out there in the world, and see if you can put something in the comments below if you agree or disagree or have anything that I haven't covered on any of these. And I have covered I've covered graphics, gameplay, weapons, maps, modes, and we're on factions. For the most part, the factions are great. I love the factions. I love their abilities. I love their ultimates. Every faction is different. I play a lot of Libertad because I like to be a healer. I like to bring the health, and I love the people from The Division, the cleaners, because I love the fire drone. It works really, really well when you're playing games where people are holding points and they're on those points and they're camping and they're trying to win, and you send that in and get 1, 2 kills, an assist, whatever, what have you. You set the place ablaze. But every ability feels really unique. I like the spider bot from the Watch Dogs faction. I do not like it when it's against me. All the factions, very good. Mwah, love them, except for the Splinter Cell people. And here's why. Now, the invisibility every once in a while can get you, but if they're moving, and that's the key word, if they're moving, you can kind of see them, kind of like the Predator, like light bounces off them. But if they're not moving, which is what I have to say makes it hard, and I know it doesn't last long, but people will camp, people will go invisible and just stand there, and before you know it, they got you, they've had you. And the sonar lets everybody know you're there, and I just feel like the cooldowns on those aren't really fair. I feel like they're also faster, kind of like how the Division people, they get a little bonus damage because their bullets set people on fire, like you've got Dragon's Breath on every bullet. I get that each class plays different. Each faction is different. But the Splinter Cell one to me seems a bit off, because it seems like they're always using sonar. People are camping when invisible, and they're just really fast. So when I get to the player base, what I get by they're really fast is if you are a jumper, and oh my God, if you are a jumper, you should be ashamed. That is running first-person shooters everywhere. That is running FPS. Let me know how you feel about jumpers, or if you are one, hey, comments down below. I'm just saying how I feel about it. I try to keep I'm a 0.9, okay? I'm like 0.4 point something percent negative, and I started with a 2, and it's because of campers, Splinter Cell campers, and jumpers and whatnot, and I'll get into that after I talk about the matchmaking, which is really, really good. Matchmaking is my next point, and I'm going to say the no skill based matchmaking is really good. I do have some complaints though, that I do feel like sometimes that the algorithm, the way that it chooses the matchmaking, kind of sort of does go against you sometimes, because I feel like if I am doing really good and it knows I'm doing good, it's not necessarily skill-based matchmaking, but it is trying to find somebody. It's trying to find people close to my level for my team and the enemy team. It's also looking at ping. It's looking at a lot of different things. But I feel like sometimes it feels like skill-based matchmaking, and I don't know why. And I'm not going to say, ooh, they lied, because I don't think it's that way, because I'm definitely not being put into as many sweaty matches as I am on COD. Like a Call of Duty, I kind of quit playing Modern Warfare 3. I deleted it. I replaced it with XDEFIANT, and I play that in Battlefield, and that's it, because it was to the point where if I did one good match, my next 3 would be against people who are in like a pro league. And I'm like, okay, I had one good match. All right, you can't base my skill against theirs when they've had 6 good matches. But that does bring me to player base, speaking of Call of Duty. XDefiant, when it first launched for the first couple of days, I think all the way until this weekend was double XP, and word got out. People were watching on Twitch. People were watching stuff on YouTube. It's free to play. Word got out, and people downloaded it and played it. And this weekend, I got to the point of angry gamer. I got to the point where I'm almost like Markiplier throwing a chair. I got to the point where I was getting very irate, and it wasn't at the game as much as it was player base. I have the thought of first-person shooters, FPSs being fun. I remember back in the day, I wasn't really that good, but I wasn't really that bad. Everybody had a good time. Nobody was jumping. Nobody started jumping, I think, until Fortnite. I think Fortnite ruined FPSs, because now people are even jumping in Battlefield. People are jumping in Call of Duty. It's become the staple of Call of Duty. And my thing is, I know it's arcade shooters. It is an arcade FPS fantasy video game, but whatever. I watch a lot of people fire their weapons. No, they even say you cannot jump and fire that weapon. You will not be on target, and you dang sure will be on your butt. You could break something. It doesn't work. Or walking left and right doesn't work all that well. Like you really... it throws off the recoil. Like I've had YouTube videos show that this stuff cannot be done. So why is it allowed in video games where people are trying to casually, because that's what XDefiant is, casual. Like if you are sitting there and you seriously want a 3 KD and you want to show that off to your girlfriend who doesn't even care and actually hates that you are obsessed and play the game the way you do, whatever, stick to Call of Duty and Fortnite. Leave games like Battlefield and XDefiant alone, especially XDefiant, because it is supposed to be a casual gamer, and I'm getting people that think they're on esports, and they're giving thumbs up to an imaginary camera every time their team wins, and they're jumping like bunny rabbits, and they're camping with their splinter cells. That's the thing too. None of these game modes. I had a guy today camping with his ultimate, camping with his flamethrower in a corner, like a good ways around where he was supposed to be defending. And I get it. Hey, you're defending the pathway, but you're using an ultimate. Okay. And I've had people camping closer to our team than what they need to be. And that to me is not playing the objective, especially if we have 2 flags and you've been sitting in the same corner the whole match, not helping your team even try to capture a single flag. And I mean, I get it sitting when you own 2 flags. And you're like, oh, they have to come for one of these. Let's get them. But when you're losing and your team is trying their hardest and they keep dying, and you are still sitting in the corner with your perfect KD, that irritates me. The jumping irritates me. The side strafing. irritates me because they're jumping while they're doing it. Ducking, sliding, those are mechanics that work really well in XDefiant for the game and the player base, which still gets kind of annoying, but sometimes someone will duck and you'll be boom right in the dome. I win. Or they slide right in there and get, a face full of lead. But really, when it comes down to it, I don't like the toxic player base. This is a casual, free-to-play FPS with every game mode focused on playing the objective. So, saying it without saying it, all of you people who do not play the objective, PTFO. Play the freaking objective. What do you think in the comments down below? And hey, if you want to give it to me, bring it on. Because I'm in there to have a good time. I want like a 1. I want a 1.5. Right now, I'm happy with being in the 90s. Okay, 0.9 is fine with me. It's when I drop to 0.8 or 7 and have to gain my way back up because y'all are sitting in corners, jumping around like maniacs, and standing still while invisible because you got to get your KD. You got to feel like you're a good player when you're really not. And that brings me around to the store season pass final thoughts. The battle pass seems really fair. I like it. The pricing is the same as everything. There are founders packs. It's a free-to-play game. I'm not going to diss on their microtransactions or anything like that with the founders packs or the battle pass. But I am seeing that they're a lot like COD and they're having, daily skins, weekly skins, packages that have skins for weapons and characters. That's all good and gravy. It's all cosmetic. It does not help your gameplay like Call of Duty does because you spent money and now they want to make you a better player, so you keep playing. Yeah, that makes sense for all the people that, don't want to spend money, don't have the money, but want to enjoy a shooter. And they're getting owned because you decided that you paid the bundle for Cheech and Chong or Helsing or Ash from the Evil Dead or whatever, man. Like, again, player base on that too, and the game enhancing those players so that they can be cheeky, sweaty people. That is not how XDefiant works, but I do see that they are doing a lot more of the microtransactions than I would like to see in my store. But the battle passes are good. You can earn the factions without ever even buying the battle pass. The weapons are free. There's a lot of free stuff along the battle pass. I think it works. I think it's gonna work, and it's all cosmetic and everything. So if you got the money, spend the money. If you don't. But don't be worried that people are spending the money and getting basically pay to win. That is not XDefiant. Again, it is supposed to be a casual FPS experience that everyone can jump on and have fun with, play the objective, play with a team. It's not supposed to be the way that it has turned out, at least this weekend. And I played a little bit today after work, and it was still kind of sweaty. A lot of jumpers, blah, blah, blah. But I think the store and the battle pass are fair. And as long as they stay that way, I mean, they're not forcing you to buy anything. But I do see where they're pushing, hey, give me money, give me mo, give me mo. But my final thoughts are basically this. The game definitely gets, at least in my book, a 4.5 out of 5. It is not a 5-star game by no means, but it is fun. The player base is what makes it not fun. So go in there and do your best and try your hardest without actually being a sweaty tryhard. And try not to get mad because people are going to be people, and people, for some reason in the gaming community, do not want to work together and have fun. They'd rather be toxic and suck people's fun away from them. But all in all, 4.5 out of 5. Great graphics, good gameplay. Weapons feel pretty decent for the most part. Maps are pretty cool. They work really well with the modes. The modes are really good. The factions, who doesn't like all the factions from Ubisoft? We've got plenty more coming. Link in the description down below to that other YouTuber's video. I can't remember his name right now, but show him some love. Watch, like, subscribe. He's got all the juicy leaks on what's to come with factions, maps, and more. The matchmaking is definitely better than Call of Duty, but I don't think it's like great. I think I'm still getting put in with a lot of less casual players and more toxic masculinity-stricken people living in their basement trying to be an esports hero. The player base, like I said, it's an FPS and it's free to play. And even if it wasn't, these people who spend tons of money to be good at these FPSs are going to get on there and they're going to try hard and try harder and play sweaty. And there's nothing you can do about it. They're going to jump. They're going to do whatever it is they do, camp, just because they got to have that good KD and they don't care how they get it. Store and season pass. Don't spend the money if you don't want to. Spend it if you do. Battle pass seems fair, reasonably priced. And basically, yeah, 4 out of 5. The game is definitely good. Like I said, the battle pass in the store, buy if you don't. Or don't buy if you don't want to. Buy if you do want to. Nothing is pay to win. All cosmetics. Check out all the links in the description down below. My Twitch is down there. That other YouTube video from another YouTuber. He's got info on all the leaked stuff coming, factions, maps, and more. Give him a shout out. Show him some love. He's also got a link in his video there for the guy on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it that does these leaks and data mines these files. And with that said, I've went over the 30-minute mark and I am not a television show. So I've been Mr. Boo Entertainment Guru. This has been my thoughts on XDEFIANT. Good game. Love it. 4 out of 5. And I will be streaming it, giving you those Twitch drops. So yeah, links are all down there. And I'm Mr. Boo Entertainment Guru, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.